You know, in the wild world of AI crypto, projects either go to the moon or they crash and burn, right? But what about the ones that are just stuck? Today, we're diving into one of those exactly, a project called Agent Layer. And get this, it has some investors so hyped they're literally staying up till 4 a.m. to buy it. At the same time, you've got others just scratching their heads, wondering why it's not going anywhere. This thing has the community completely split down the middle. Okay, so here's the game plan for today. We're going to unpack Agent Layer, look at the super optimistic bull case. We're talking 100x potential here. Then we'll flip the coin and dig into the bear case, asking why it's struggling. After that, we'll ground everything in the actual numbers and wrap it all up with the core dilemma this project faces.
All right, Section 1, Unpacking Agent Layer. So before we jump into the bull versus bear arguments, let's make sure we're all on the same page. What is this thing really?
So we have to start with this term, autonomous AI agents. And look, we're not just talking about a simple chatbot that answers your questions. Think way bigger. Imagine an AI that's like a digital employee. It doesn't just talk, it acts. It can manage your crypto portfolio, spot market trends for you, or even control complex characters in a video game, all on its own. This isn't just a niche idea. A lot of people are saying this is going to be a huge narrative for 2025.
Okay, so that's where Agent Layer enters the picture. Think of it like an app store, or maybe even the operating system, for all these AI agents. It wants to be the decentralized network where developers can come and build these agents, share them, and, make money from them. The possibilities are huge, from finance to gaming and everything in between.
All right, let's get into the juicy stuff, the bull case. Why are people saying things like, I was up till 4 a.m. buying? What do they see that maybe the rest of the market is missing?
I mean, that quote right there from Crypto Games says it all. That's some serious conviction. So what's behind it? What's fueling this kind of insane optimism? Well, for a lot of the bulls, it boils down to one really powerful comparison.
And here it is. People are looking at the story of Fetch.ai. Go back to December 2022. It was another project in the same AI agent space, with a market cap of around $57 million. Then, it just exploded, eventually hitting a valuation of $3.4 billion. So the bulls look over at Agent Layer, see that it has the same narrative, but an even tinier market cap, and they're thinking, wait a minute, could history be about to repeat itself?
And that's where you get this 100x potential talk. The math is actually pretty straightforward. You take its tiny market cap, say around 3.4 million, and for it to 100x, it doesn't need to become a 300 times billion-dollar project. No, it only needs to reach 340 million. And when you compare that to what Fetch.ai did, reaching over 3 billion, well, 340 million suddenly doesn't sound so crazy, does it? That's the core of the bull thesis right there.
But it's not just pure hopium, right? The bulls point to some really solid fundamentals. For one, it's deflationary. Every month, they burn 25% of the protocol's revenue. That means tokens are constantly being removed from supply, which can be great for the price. The vesting schedule is also really smart. Most of the early investor tokens are locked up for a long time, so you don't have to worry about a massive dump right away. Plus, you've got a strong team with legit academic credentials and some heavy-hitter backers. And hey, it's even getting some real traction in Europe.
Okay, that all sounds pretty good, right? But now we have to flip the coin. Let's look at the bear case. Because for all that potential, there's a reason this project has been called a great idea no one's noticing.
And this really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If the potential is so massive, if it's the next Fetch.ai, then why is it struggling so much? Why isn't the price taken off?
And this quote from Artur Guimarães just hits the nail on the head. The project is really cool, but it's not gaining traction. It's like he sees the potential, he gets the idea, but then he looks at the chart and nothing's happening. The market just isn't buying the story. And this definitely doesn't help things. There's a ton of conflicting data out there. You look at one source and it says the market cap is 3.4 million, another says 6 million, a third says 13 million. I mean, which is it? It's really hard to make a confident investment when you can't even agree on the starting number.
And yeah, the chart tells the story pretty clearly. After that first bit of excitement right after launch, it's just been a slow bleed downwards. What's really concerning for the bears is that even when the rest of the crypto market is pumping, Agent Layer just doesn't respond. That's a huge red flag for a lot of people.
So we've heard the hype, we've heard the doubts. Let's try to cut through the noise and just look at the hard data. Let's ground this whole debate in the numbers.
And when you look at their timeline, you gotta give them credit. They're doing what they said they would do. They launched late last year, ran a huge testnet that got 2 million users involved, which is massive. They got the token out,
And they've already started the token burns, so the team is definitely shipping. So, let's peek under the hood at the tokenomics, basically how the 1 billion tokens are split up. And this actually looks pretty healthy. A huge 40% chunk is for the ecosystem, with another 20% for the community. That's a good sign. It tells you they're focused on the long game, trying to get developers and users to actually build and participate in the network.
And if you look on-chain, there is real stuff happening. We're talking about 53,000 different wallets holding the token. There's a decent amount of value locked in the protocol, but here's the most important part. People are actually using the AI agents. There's one called Fortuna that's the top earner right now, generating real revenue. That proves the whole concept isn't just theory. It actually works, even if it is on a small scale for now.
Okay, so we've seen the passion from the bulls. We've heard the serious doubts from the bears. We've looked at the data, and what we're left with is this really interesting fundamental conflict.
And it really boils down to this, the core dilemma. On one hand, you have the promise, a revolutionary idea, an absolutely tiny market cap with that insane 100x potential, a strong team, deflationary token, all the right ingredients. But then you have the reality. The market performance has been terrible. It's struggling to get noticed. The data is confusing, and it's a very, very new project in a super competitive space.
So, that leaves us with the final question, the one that every potential investor has to wrestle with. Is Agent Layer a hidden gem that's just a little bit ahead of its time, waiting for the market to catch on? Or is it a forgotten dream, a great idea that, for one reason or another, simply missed its moment? And that right there is the multi-million-dollar question.